Okay, dzień dobry, Poznań. Dziękuję za zaproszenie na to wydarzenie i GIC Legal Summit powered by Maruta i mam nadzieję, że wrócę w przyszłym roku. Now I'm going to switch to English. Polish is not my language, although I'm from Czech Republic, so I do understand a little bit. It's great to be here today and to add further to the discussion and hopefully persuade everybody in the room that not only that game law or game dev law should be discipline on its own. Thank you. Is this better? Should be a discipline on its own, but it already is. I'm using the term interactive entertainment law because I think it is much wider in terms of scope and in terms of the type of media and interactions that it covers. And there already is a quite developing and wide range of scholarship when it comes to interactive entertainment law. In addition to what Jarek mentioned here in Poland, we teach modules specifically designed looking at interactive entertainment law, so all sorts of laws and regulations that have direct impact on the entire life cycle of video games, but also thinking about how developing, using and interacting with games can inform the making of new laws. So it's not just a one-way direction. It's not only about how can we regulate video games, but how can we learn from video games? How can we perceive users' interactions? How can we perceive how we can control or regulate users' behaviors in games? And whether there is a lesson to be learned for us to take on board when we're coming up with new laws and regulations. Specifically, looking forward in terms of building and designing the metaverse, sort of taking interactive entertainment to another level. What are the lessons that we can learn? What works and what doesn't work? What can be easily fixed by changing the design of the environment and for which we really need new or amended legal provisions? So in that sense, interactive entertainment law definitely exists. It has been around for a long time, and there is an increasing need for ongoing dialogue with all the different stakeholders within the industry. So this is not just about talking to the companies, to developers, to publishers, but also to the users and communities that represent users and their interests and their experience, to policymakers and legislators, so that the kind of laws that we have that impact on how video games operate, what kind of experience we get, and what kind of expectations we have, are laws that are proactive, they are industry informed, and they are not born out of some moral panic or a knee-jerk reaction to a perceived problem. I also would like to highlight my own personal belief that we should, in terms of the timeline, when the law comes into play, when does it make an impact, this should come much earlier in the whole process. So we shouldn't try to apply laws or come up with new laws and regulations when the problem is already there, because that is too late. That's why I think looking at our experiences, with the entire development, rise of cyberspace, from internet, social media to video games, we really should be reflecting on what we've learned. What did we get right? And what really didn't work? Again, especially in the context with dealing with the hype of metaverse, and what kind of metaverse are we going to build? Well, we should really think about the values and the design of that space right now and how law can inform that, rather than trying to come in with law and regulation afterwards, after a problem has emerged and we only just realizing that, wow, we really don't want to exist in such a toxic environment. And how do we deal with that when it's too late?